Hello, everybody. I'm joined by Matt Donnelly from
Broco.
Broco. Oh my God, I just saw the end of your set, by the way. Sounds absolutely amazing. What I find interesting is that you're quite an animated person, whereas at the back of the stage, you seem so chill.
Well, yeah, it's because I sing a fair bit in the band. I have a sort of anxiety about being too far away from the mic at any one point.
Right.
So if I'm over here, like giving it some headbanging, I'm like, oh no, I've got to get back over there.
I was going to ask you, that was the main thing I was going to ask you about, is like singing and playing. Have you always done it?
Yes, I sort of, around about age of 13, 14, I sort of discovered a love of singing and drumming kind of at the same time. And then I always wanted to do both. So then in the first bands I was ever in, you know, with friends at school, I was always like putting my hand up to say, I want to do the backing vocals, I want to do the backing vocals.
That's a rare breed,
well,
to be honest.
So I was just, what I always say is that I was just really, really bad at both. And I gradually got less bad at both. Like linearly. But you know, I think it is a lot harder probably. I haven't had this experience, but to learn drums and then add singing,
it's interesting. Like I see a lot of people who want to get into doing BBs, and then all of a sudden it's like they don't know how to start developing, and I don't really know how I started to figure that out either. You just kind of start to do it.
I think you just start doing it.
I think there has to be kind of a baseline of playing ability, and then you can start to like try and sing over the top, but
I think it's
timing
hard,
goes a bit skew with.
If you have reached some level of accomplishment with drums, it's hard to then take that step because it feels rubbish sucking.
Let's get into the technical part, because this is what all these drumming nerds are here for.
Right,
Obviously you're gigging quite a lot, I'm assuming. You've just written, you're writing / have written new album that hasn't quite finished yet. Do you have a practice routine, or do you find that most of the time it's just doing the gigs and kind of writing is where you're coming up with your new stuff?
So I've started to have more of a structured practice routine over the years.
For you.
Over the years I've been bad at that. And you know, some years I'm busier than others, and when we've been touring lots and lots, like when I get home and I have a bit of downtime, some days the last thing I want to do is pick up my sticks and play it, right? But now life's just so busy, and like family life and stuff, but I have finally, for the first time, actually signed up to like a structured sort of like tuition program. And I checked out some of your YouTube lessons as well.
Nice.
You know, when I was like looking around and just like, you know, you got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like I'm just like I don't just want to pick up the sticks and play anything. I want to do something more focused.
So what recently have you been working on? Is there something specific?
Well, a lot of like sort of independence, like doing some right left kick, but like keeping time in 4 or with my left foot. And just working on my left hand. My left hand, I'm very, very right-handed. And it's something I've probably neglected over the years. So just trying to do that. I'd love to get better at playing with both feet. I can play a little bit with both feet, but like I'm very much right-footed.
So when you're stepping your hi-hat, you just mostly quarter notes, eighth notes, maybe the odd offbeat, I'm guessing. I'm a bit like that. I've tried doing the like, have you ever, I don't know whose shuffle it is, but you do like the one on the right, the numbers on the right, and then you do the skip note on the left.
I've not done it. It sounds already like my mind.
Killer. When I'm watching your playing, you're doing, because it's not pop.
No.
But it's quite, your playing and what you're doing is quite pop orientated from my perspective. In terms of what you're playing, it's heavier stuff. But you're not out here doing crazy chops or doing crazy double pedal wacky stuff. So do you ever incorporate rudiments into any of that? Do you wish you could incorporate some more rudiments?
It's another thing I would, you know, given the time, I'd love to work on it more and more, but I sort of found we've got into a rhythm of like writing for the song. And often the song doesn't really demand that. And then playing for the song. 90 to 95% of what I'm doing is singles. But also because it works. At the end of the day. It's great and it's powerful, and and it makes it easier for me to split my brain and sing at the same time. So again, it's something I'd love to be better at.
No, I think it's a weird.
We're constantly
split
learning.
That happens. Once you get to I think a certain point, especially if you're in a band writing, you aren't. It's about serving the song. So it gets to a point where I think it splits off between drummers who are kind of internet drummers sometimes, and you're doing the flashy, amazing stuff, or you get kind of songwriter drummers where you're thinking about what's actually
sweet
being
spot
put
somewhere in the middle.
Yes. I'm guessing you're to click and everything with this because there's quite a lot of production going on.
Hated it at first.
Yeah.
Now I can't live without it.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish I played to click more because as soon as the adrenaline gets in there,
it's the adrenaline and the push and pull of the show in that sense. Like it's nice to have that safety net.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose time here.
So I saw you have a pretty normal 1 up, 1 down, right?
1 up, 1 down. Yeah.
Is there any specific thing you couldn't really live without in terms of? Is there a weird splash or a weird something, or maybe you use quite a lot of triggers and stuff, right?
Well, the triggers are only for the front of the house to have gates, so we're not actually triggering any sounds at the moment.
Yeah.
So I love my snare drum. My snare drum is Done It custom drums. Like it's a guy in Canada who makes them by hand.
Yes, I think I might know.
I hadn't heard of them too much, and my drum tech, he had one, bought one to a rehearsal, and he was like, try this out, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And he was like, well, I know where you can get one, and his friend was selling one. His friend had a drum shop, and he said, I could probably maybe get it for you for a good price. And so he said, just try it, because if you get it at this price, they're so good, you could easily get your money back. So I was like, well, win-win. And bought it, never looked back. It's incredible. It's just like very, very heavy brass snare, kind of standard depth, but it's just weighty and massive and sounds incredible.
Yeah, nice, thick and punchy and stuff. Nice stuff. So sticks-wise, anything specific, or you?
Kind of a pretty standard 5-beat guy. Play
so
Pro Mark.
Slightly heavier than not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I love that you're both to the comfortable walking shoes club. Is that a drummer thing?
Yes.
Perhaps it is.
I think maybe perhaps it is.
I only bought these. I bought these a couple of days ago in Brighton. We were doing a warm-up gig.
Nice.
And I just sort of realized I was trying to pack light. I bought one pair of shoes out on the road. And there's a pair of trainers that they're probably 3 years old, and I played the first show and I was like, they just feel like too battered and broken. I'm getting no support. So I went out the next day and I treated myself.
But I like this. I usually get flack for comfortable shoes from you. The drip is not on point. And I'm like, but I'm a drummer. No one's looking.
You
from
know
the waist down.
Function.
Hurting the whole weekend.
Exactly. She's been whinging the whole time.
That's it.
Anyway, sorry, I remember the question there. So you're mostly self-taught, did you say, or did you have lessons?
I had lessons for a very, very short time at the start.
Yeah.
A few months, really, when I was about 14 years old, ever since self-taught.
Did you benefit? Do you think you benefited from that? Or did it
put
you up?
I did, yeah. I probably learned some very, very core fundamentals, and it helped me stick with it long enough to discover a love of drumming. I just found that my love took me elsewhere. Like I just wanted to play along to songs, play along to my favorite bands, and the sort of lessons that I was having at the time, the structure of it, I think it was maybe going a bit too slow for what I was just young and enthusiastic.
I think it depends. Like I had a teacher where it was like very technical, very technique orientated, and I had him for like a year, and I was very young, and it just doesn't quite. Until I had someone who was just high energy and like, let's just play something fun.
If
and
I was
the fun of it.
now, I'd stick with it. I'd say have lessons.
Yeah.
Have lessons, because you gain so much from it. And the person who's the teacher, they know.
Yeah.
Like they've been there. So.
You know what the good news is? You can have lessons with us, which is good. Not me. Well, you can have lessons with me, but you can have lessons with one of our amazing tutors. Just follow the links down below. It's an amazing plug you've just done there. Nailed it.
My number one piece of advice. Because I didn't follow my own advice for years, but I am now sort of having lessons again, which is cool.
As you kind of progress as a band and all that good stuff, which is fantastic stuff. Have you had any core pieces of advice or like things that have really stuck with you, either to do with your playing or just in general?
Oh, a piece of advice. Yes, I mean, loads to be honest. Just not burying the beater with the kick drum was a bit of a game changer for me, and I'm still working on it.
Interesting.
Just get a lot of shin and calf fatigue in my right foot because I'm constantly under tension because I'm leaving the beater buried. So that's something I'm working on, and it's giving me a lot more stamina. So that's really good. And just generally seating position, making sure that my hips are above my knees, but not by too much. Make sure I'm sitting a little bit further back. All the good posture stuff, which it's particularly important when you're singing as well because the microphone's at a set height. And,
yeah, I was going to ask you. Yeah. So when you're singing, I find that being sat down, it's hard to get that kind of core support. How do you tackle that?
I don't sometimes.
Yelling, to be honest, is my tactic.
Yeah,
just
yelling.
Be loud.
I just try and be quite close on the mic. Normally I'm resting the mic on my top lip. It's always there as a kind of like physical reference point in space. Make sure that you've got a good in-ear mix, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the high harmony as well, so that's twice as difficult.
It can be really really difficult when you're over here on the crash. Yeah. And it's all spilling into the mic as well, and it's all getting fed back into your brain. It can be quite distracting.
Bit full on.
But you work on these things over time with a good sound engineer, and will help you calm that down.
If there was someone trying to get into a similar position as you, someone who's playing in a band regularly, what advice would you give to them, if any?
Just number one is just get out and play gigs. There's no better experience. I find we can spend weeks, months in a rehearsal room, and it only ever gets you so far. You need the adrenaline and the sort of almost the pressure of the now it's go time environment. Yes. We're live. You need that, and you gain and you grow so much more in that environment. So get out and play gigs, and then I believe that when you're writing music, hold that in your mind. Hold in your mind, not just write the best song, but how's it going to feel live? Because if you're playing in a rock band or a heavy genre, the lifeblood of this music and these scenes and these genres, it's live. Live's what it's all about. So hold that in your mind's eye when you're writing music, that you're writing it with a view to one day try and visualize how's this going to feel when I'm in a field with thousands of people. Exactly. And that will make it more fun.
Amazing.
And get out there and just play some gigs.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And if you enjoyed this video, obviously you can click for another one up here or over here, or you can subscribe to this channel, because why wouldn't you? We get cool people like this. So just subscribe. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye.